Good morning. Okay, so if you're brand new on here, make sure you know where the mute button is and also where the chat function is. That's really important, especially today, because we're going to go through some kind of like small activities. And make sure you have a pen and a notebook. So if you have to leave right now to get a piece of paper and a pen, please do, because we might be brainstorming some ideas. By the way, if you're a coach, this is an awesome shirt that you should earn yourself. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. It's a short sleeve. I know you almost can't tell with the sweater, but love this shirt. Anyway, okay, so Saturday. It's Saturday 25th. Coffee talk, love it. We're going to talk about emotional eating, okay? But before we do, I'm going to shout out a couple things. Number one, Alana Molstein, who's the creator of To Be Mindset, is now going to be doing a cooking show. Woo! Who is excited about this? I'm beyond excited about this. Kaylee's excited too. So here's the cool thing I love about Alana is I know that she's going to be showing us amazing ways to make veggies taste awesome. And are you putting your sports one on top of a shirt? Sorry, I am so distracted right now. Okay, so it's awesome. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so
saw that in her video yesterday. I just had that.
Yeah, it's so freaking cool, right? I'm really beyond excited about it. Okay, so, oh, and for Kaylee, yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing what she does. She looks like she's nice and warm, and it's super simple to do. Anyway, so, okay, the cooking show will be coming out soon, but I don't remember the day. So if anybody can put that into the group chat, I would love to know if you have the day. I don't remember that. I love the fact that she is always making veggies taste good. So if you know anybody who needs help with eating more vegetables, but they just don't know where to start, I would recommend talking to them about To Be Mindset and Alana and following her social media accounts and getting on top of watching these videos, these cooking videos that she's going to do, because she makes everything taste so good and is always veggie most, right? So love it. Okay, secondly, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, sorry, I'm getting really hot because my vent is open in here. There we go. So this Monday night, I'll be doing a call about coaching. And so if you are not already a coach who's actively building their business and want to learn more about earning money while you're working on your health and nutrition, so no, you don't already have to be at a spot where you you don't feel like you don't need to like have arrived with your nutrition and fitness. So even if you're just working on your nutrition and fitness, you can totally get on this call and learn more, because it's going to be awesome. And honestly, I think doing everything together, your nutrition, your fitness, and coaching, and like earning an income doing this is the full solution. Like the absolute full solution. Inviting people to join you, building a community of positive people, that is the solution. And I've done this now for, these coffee talks. I've done these for almost a year now, and I've interviewed a lot of people. And every single one of the people I have interviewed has said how coaching, whether they're like super active building their coaching or just inviting people here and there, and no matter what, sharing their story, inviting people is a surefire way to stay on top of your nutrition, your fitness, and to build those habits around it. So Monday night, I'll be doing a call around it's 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll be explaining more about coaching and how to use that full solution. And so even if you are a coach, by the way, you can invite other coaches or other challengers or people who are interested in coaching to join us. Amanda said it's the #1 reason she's stuck with it. So true, Ashley. And I love Amanda's social media. By the way, if you can get onto Amanda's social media, she's rocking it right now, talking about James Clear, which I totally love. I even have his book sitting right here. If you can read this book, read it. It's called Atomic Habits. And Amanda, I'm like scrolling and I saw his quote in my face and I'm like, oh, I love him. And I'm like, oh, it's Amanda. How great. So one of the things that he talks about are habits and how to get into your habits. You can use this book for a lot, like basically your whole life, about all the different habits that you want to build in all different categories of your life. But something I want to tell you is he breaks down how to build habits. And I'm telling you now, coaching is one of the reasons I've been able to create those habits in my life. And Amanda talked about how, you know, she just does the things now. It is her. She is the person who wakes up every morning and works out. She doesn't have to think about it anymore. And part of the way she set that up for herself is by coaching, right? So anyway, just wanted to shout you out, girl. Your social media is like rocking. Love it. So, okay, emotional eating. Let's talk about that real quick. The reason I'm even bringing this up is because of the Mindset membership. I'm totally in love with it. I think it's really, really important that if you're going to be working on an area of your life, that you need to continually learn about it. Now, think about it. Anybody who's gone to college for any kind of profession, right? They don't just go to 4 or 5 years or 8 or 10, depending on what it is, and then stop learning after that. Any true profession usually has something called continuing education, right? Now, if you're going to take it so seriously with your profession, your job at work, that you're only doing maybe 50, 40, 80 hours a week, whatever it is, you think you should do the same thing for your nutrition, where you're literally eating more than you are going to work. I mean, think about that. Like you're eating for your entire life, right? You're eating every day. And so learning about what you're putting into your body should be a really important thing. And so I feel like the continuing education of the Fixate, I think it's called the Monthly Fix, and the Mindset membership, which is more geared towards 2B mindset, I think those are really important. It's a monthly, it's monthly. They give you content videos to watch, and you learn so much through them, so much. And they're awesome takeaways that you can implement right away. So it's not like something you have to prepare a ton for. You already know the information, the foundational information, and now this is how to implement it into your life. So if you're not on one of those monthly subscriptions, I highly recommend it. With the coach account, it's only like $15 a month. Now, $15 a month to be getting awesome content from like true hardcore professionals who help thousands, hundreds of thousands of people with their nutrition, that is a bargain. Okay, so if you just wanted to go to a nutritionist, you're not going to learn as much as you do here with one session, right? And it's going to be like 10 times as expensive. So do your monthly membership. It's Monthly Fix and it's Mindset membership. Do at least one of them and continue on with that education of your nutrition. Okay, so Alana talks this month about emotional eating, and I think it's like the stuff that they talk about is so key, but we're just going to go over some of the main points of it because she totally wrecked my world when I was listening to it. And but if you want to dive in deeper, go back to Mindset membership, April's content, and there's a video in there that she interviews 2 people who are like awesome. One of them is a nurse and works crazy hours, and I forget what the other one does, but the other one had just recently gone through a very big struggle in her life. She lost her younger brother, and she talks a little bit about how she was able to cope through that. So let's talk real quick about emotional eating. So last week, or was it the week before, I don't remember, we talked about tracking. And one thing that I realized is to break through a plateau, right? Tracking and mixing up, like having more variety in your nutrition might be really key to break through a plateau. But if you're going through a huge struggle right now, or like a very stressful time in your life, which I can't imagine anybody going through a stressful time right now, but if you are, and you're finding yourself falling off or doing a lot of emotional eating, stress eating, anxiety eating, not sleeping well, all those things, then you might want to not worry so much about breaking through plateaus, but more about just pulling it in and becoming more consistent with your meals. So when you're going through a struggle, or an emergency, or just, guys, let's just say it, if you're living in life right now, you might want to fall back upon habits and consistencies rather than trying to be more variety with your meals. One of the biggest things is going to routines like breakfast and lunch, and I'll go through that in a minute, but let's start at the top. Emotional eating, number one, can usually be tied down to habits that we have, right? So let's use an example of everyday examples. If you have children, right, and it's time to put the kids to bed, and you put the kids to bed, and you have young children. If you have older children, this is not the same. If you have young children and they go to bed at like 7, and you put the kids to bed, and then it's like wind down time with your spouse, or like, I'm gonna sit in front of a TV and just like veg because I need to just disconnect from the world, and you tend to go grab food or a drink, that would be a habit and a trigger, right? So the trigger would be, kids are going to bed, I need to wind down. It's a thought process, right? But you aren't cognizant of it. Like, you aren't thinking to yourself, oh, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing right now. No, this is more of like an autopilot thing. Oh, I'm gonna go grab my glass of wine. I'm gonna go grab some popcorn or whatever it is. I'm sorry, I don't really relate very well to the night eating anymore, so I don't know what it is, the thing that you might grab. I can relate. I grab chocolate, right? So I'm a chocolate person. So whatever it is that you might grab, and then you sit in front of a TV show and you just veg out. And when you're vegging out, you don't realize that you actually had 4 glasses of wine and an entire bag of Doritos, right? So this is something that you need to kind of figure out, where are my triggers? Another one might be, I went to work, I'm on my way home from work, I'm gonna stop at fast food, or I'm gonna stop at Starbucks and get myself a really frou-frou drink that has a ton of sugar in it. Or maybe it's project-based. I have a huge project at work. I'm going to sit down at my desk. I'm going to work for 4 hours. Where are my combos and my pastries, right? So, like, it just depends. Maybe it's coffee. Maybe coffee triggers a pastry eating, right? So you have to really think about, where is the emotion coming from? Where is the trigger coming from? Is it just time-based? 4 p.m., stressed out at work, I know I'm going home soon, I'm starving, I'm gonna eat a Snickers bar, right? Because the commercial tells me Snickers will pep me up. Okay, so it just depends on what it is. Now, how do you find those things, those triggers, those habits, the things that make you emotionally eat? The only way really to become like aware of it, well, there's multiple ways, but one of the main ways is by tracking. Really start to, and you don't have to do this the rest of your life, but if you realize, oh my gosh, I'm doing a ton of emotional eating, bring out a notebook, get a pen. It does not have to be fancy whatsoever, and just track for a couple days in a row. 4 days, you should be able to find your trigger there. In the videos of the Mindset membership, the one for April, the lady who was being interviewed, one of them realized that through tracking, what she realized is that her biggest like emotional, what happened, let me set the stage. She works for 12-hour shifts at a hospital, right? And so what she realized the one day is, she was going home, she was done with her shift, she went past the break room and saw a bag of Doritos, grabbed the bag of Doritos and ate the entire bag on the way home. Now, I'm not laughing at her because honestly, I'm laughing because this is one of my triggers. I have many times in my life went grocery shopping by myself without the kids and decided mom needs a treat, and I would grab a bag of chips, potato chips, plain or salt and vinegar, and I would hop in my car and I would continue to eat the entire bag before I got home. Mind you, if I wasn't finished with the bag and I was almost home, I would pull over and I would eat the rest of the bag because I did not want the little hands near the bag, right? Like, that was my bag of chips, not theirs. No one else is eating it. I am. And so I would just pull over and eat the rest before I got home as if nothing happened, right? Like, throw the bag away in the outside trash can before I go inside, open the door. Kids, come help mom put the groceries away because I just did a lot of freaking work, right? And ate a bag of chips. So anyway, I get it. I can relate. So what she did is she realized through tracking is that before she goes for her 12-hour shift, she normally takes a nap, right? And then she's also realized, so what she realized that day is she didn't take a nap. She never took the nap before she went to work. So being extra tired, like not being, having the energy that she would normally have because she would normally take a nap before a 12-hour shift, right? She didn't take that nap, and she wasn't on top of her water. She wasn't drinking enough water. And we already know, and if you don't, this is a reminder, water gives, if you're drinking enough water, you will probably have double the amount of energy that you would normally have if you didn't drink enough water. So to drink enough water, I would consider that half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 180 pounds, then you should be drinking at least 90, if my math is right, ounces of water, right? So water will give us extra energy. Anybody will tell you if they are normally in a state like they don't drink much water and then they start drinking half their body weight in water, they'll gain energy right like that, right? So, and it's almost instant. You'll notice it right away. You'll also pee a lot more, but it's all okay. It's all good. You have the energy to go to the bathroom. Okay, so she was not drinking enough water and she didn't take her nap. That threw her off. She was hungry, probably hangry. She was tired. When you're tired, your body actually starts to crave more food. And so she went past the break room and in a moment of weakness grabbed those bags and went home and ate it all. That could be anybody, but here's the deal. She was tracking during this time, so she was able to look back at it and know what it was, right? So funny thing is, would you, I know I wouldn't if I didn't hear this story, would you have tracked when you take a nap? Like if I took a nap during the day, I might not have written that down on my tracker, right? So this is a good reminder for us to be very detailed in our tracking. There's a reason why sleep at the top, it says how much sleep did you get and you write down your sleep. That's for To Be Mindset. I think it's also for, I don't remember. If it's for Fixate as well, I don't remember. But track your sleep, including naps, right? Track everything that you eat and everything that you drink. Another way to do this is also to track your mood. Like when you are feeling hungry or you are extra hangry or you're totally irritable, which I noticed the week before, three days before I get my period, super irritable, hate my husband every time, right? So, but knowing that, I can give them a warning or just work really hard on it, right? So these are things you won't know if you're not tracking, and you got to track in detail. And something I realized the other day when I was working with somebody is tracking in detail also means how much of the thing you ate, right? So, and it doesn't, you don't have to weigh it out or anything, but if you have like chicken thighs for dinner, don't just write chicken thighs, right? 1.5 chicken thigh, 2 chicken thighs with bone in. Like you can be more specific. Amanda says, oh my gosh, yes, I almost went for another coffee, but forced myself to finish this huge mason jar first. Gosh, Amanda, you brought up, what a great segue. Okay, so Amanda brought up the second thing that we need to talk about. Let me read Ashley's. I definitely eat more carbs at work right now because I have not been able to get enough water in your body. Yes, that is huge. Like drinking water will help you tremendously. Ashley, are you working at the hospital right now? Where are you working? You're working at the hospital. Are you saying you're not getting enough water because you can't run to the bathroom as much? Like, is that one of your...
Yeah, well, no, because of wearing a mask all the time.
Okay.
Like having to take your whole gear off on and off, it's like so time consuming.
Yeah.
And like then trying to get everything set and then having to wear goggles and not like get them all fogged up. It's not even worth taking your gear off.
Does it make you eat less though also because you can't take you don't want to take your gear off?
I plead the fifth.
All right, so we just debunked that excuse. No, so listen. So here's the deal. Some things you can try is if you're in that situation where you really are like totally geared up with the mask and then the plastic thing, the shield, whatever you call it. Try getting your water in when you're not at work. Like drown yourself in water on the way to work, on the way home from work, and a break. You have to just be more methodical about it. But this brings up this is great, because number 2 is something that Alana said, and I'm like, this is so true, and I actually do it without realizing I'm doing it, but I used to not do it. And it is, write this down because this is key, always give your body what it needs before you give your body what you want. We're kind of in a want culture, are we not? We're like, well, I want that, and I'm going to have it because how dare anybody judge me if I don't, right? And then if someone says you shouldn't, they're like, you're judging me. You are judgy. Stop judging me, right? I'm going to live the life that I want to live, YOLO, right? So here's the thing. We got to be responsible, right? We got to be responsible. We have to give our body what it needs before we get what we want, right? And Alana brings this up because she's like, I realized this when I was talking to my child, because doesn't that sound like a child thing? Like you have to tell your child, no, you got to eat your veggies first, eat your dinner, and then you get the dessert. Honestly, we're not telling ourselves we can't have it. So it's not about deprivation. We're giving ourselves what we need before we get what we want. And she brings up a really good analogy or example. If it's like Sunday night, right, and you don't have dinner ready and you're not prepared and you decide I'm going to go order pizza for the family, right, and you were really good and ordered yourself a salad, right, you get everything at home, the pizza looks so damn good, and a salad, like most pizza places, looks disgusting. Like it's like, oh, iceberg, great. Oh, a tomato cut in half, awesome. Oh, look, they put a cucumber on it. How wonderful, right? Look at that dressing. Looks wonderful, right? So they might not put the detail into their salads like you would like them to, and so it doesn't look very appetizing, and you're ready to eat that pizza. So here's the deal. If you eat the salad first and give your body what you need, you can still go have that pizza, but you'll have way more control over it. You will have way more control over what you're doing. And let's face facts. If you ate the pizza first, will you ever go back and eat that salad? Probably not. And if you're anything like me, you'll eat 3 or 4 slices of pizza, not just 1. So if you give your body what you need first and then have what you want, then you'll have more control, you'll feel more confident, you'll be in a better place, your body will have more energy because you'll be putting in it what it needs, and then you can give your body what you want, right? So it's just a smarter way of putting things together. And so in these instances, let's talk about them. Ashley, if you drink the water first when your mask is off, and then have the carb, I think you said the carbs were a problem, then same thing. Amanda hit the nail on the head by saying, I wanted another cup of coffee, but I'm going to drink my water first. Let me drink this mason jar first before I go have my second cup of coffee. She may still have the second cup of coffee. She may not. Who knows? But if she was drinking coffee all day long, like I have many, many days, instead of having the water, I'm going to feel yucky, basically, right? And I'm going to be way dehydrated. I'm reading the comments real quick. I had no idea how emotionally attached I was to coffee until Ultimate Reset, and I couldn't have it. I learned a lot about the trigger and emotional behind the why. Yes, that's true. And Amanda, you know what? When it comes to coffee, it's a huge trigger for me too, especially when when I'm deciding to work. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and work. I need my coffee. Half an hour later, I should probably get another cup of coffee. Half an hour later, another coffee sounds good, right? So coffee is not water, guys. It's not. Drink the water first. Okay. Jesse 3 days before. Interesting. I thought I was just annoyed. What? I have no idea what he's talking about. I need a cup of coffee every morning. At least I think I do. I wake up with it on my head, my mind. So weird. I started forcing myself to have 8 ounces before my cup of coffee. It's not a lot of water. It's a great start. That's a huge start. I'm going to encourage you to try to get it to 16 ounces of water before you have your first cup of coffee. With a little splash of lemon juice in it. You'll find that you'll actually get a lot more energy if you start your day with that glass of water, 16 ounces of water. Guys, water is one of those things where you might not be excited to have it, and the habit might be hard to get into, but it doesn't take much time to guzzle down 16 ounces of water. So just keep slowly increasing it. If it's 8 ounces now, that's great, and then make it like 10 ounces and then move forward. Okay. Melanie says, I do that. I am not allowed coffee until I have water first. I love it. Water first. I love that whole thing about 2B mindset. Water first. It makes you slow down and think before you start chowing down on things. I cave when the kids don't finish their plates of food, so I finish it for them. Me too, sweetie. Me too. We can work on that together. That's my husband too, Jesse. I also work at a hospital and definitely do not drink water all day. Then when I come home, I find myself chugging because my body wants it. That's good. So you make up for the missed out water throughout the day by drinking it on your way home. Love that. Challenge for the kids, water before anything else. Yeah, my kids hate me because half the time they're like, I'm hungry. I'm like, go get a glass of water. Drink this first, and then if you're still hungry, you can eat. That'll help your food bill too. Besides coffee, I only drink water. The problem is I don't drink much of anything else throughout the day. Okay, so if you can find a structure with the water where you know how much. So for example, I've been working on this lately because I realized I wasn't doing so great with my water. So when I wake up, I have 16 ounces of water. And yes, sometimes that includes Energize in it. Okay, so 16 ounces of water. And then before I have anything else, I might go ahead and have a cup of tea, or then breakfast, and then the rest of my day, right? After, between my coffee, my morning coffee, and my lunch, because I have coffee usually around 9, I made it earlier today, I make sure I have another 16 ounces of water in between breakfast and lunch, another 16 ounces of water, right? And then in between lunch and dinner, another 16 ounces of water. And throughout that, I also include my tea water. I realize that I get in the amount I need. So if you can take the amount of water you should be having, your goal amount of water every day that you want to have, and break it up into those 3 areas so that you know exactly how much you need to have in between your meals, then you'll be able to get it done by dinner time, and you won't have to worry about it the rest of the day. And you won't be up at night peeing too in the middle of the night if you're drinking more of that in between, oh my gosh, I didn't drink my water, let me chug it all down at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. and then I'm up all night peeing, right? So try to split up your water and put some structure to it. And then you have mini goals throughout the day to stick with instead of one big goal of, hey, I got to drink 100 ounces of water. So try that out and see if that works for you, and get back to me because I want to know. I use some Weight Watchers mindset still too. I use the smaller fork, drink in between, longer chewing times. Yes, I do like the water first, veggies most mindset. I love it. I love that you're able to pull pieces out of things that's worked for you and stuck with that. That's awesome. So just to finish this up, I love that she says, always give your body what it needs first, then what you want, right? She uses the Sunday night pizza example, that it gives you more control, it helps you make smarter decisions. You discover these habits, these emotional eating habits and triggers by tracking, right? So even if you're not like a tracker that you don't track all the time, just bring out a notebook or a piece of paper and a pen and just commit to a couple days in a row. Then, and make sure you're being detailed with your sleep, detailed with the amount, detailed with the bites of food you take from your kids' plates, all of that stuff. One thing that actually used to work for me, Jesse, we kind of stopped doing this, is I would take the kids' food, their plate, and if they didn't eat the rest of it, I'd wrap it up and tell them that if they're hungry later, they have to eat this. That prevents me from eating the rest of it because I'm like determined to make them eat their freaking food, right? So that's something you can do. And same with cooking. If I put the food away as I'm serving it, then I'm not going back to it and like eating off the pan sheet. I might make, guys, I have definitely gained weight by eating too many veggies, right? And it's always roasted veggies. My body just, the way it's caramelized, my body's like, you can't eat too much of that for dinner. But it's really because I overeat. I will go to the tray and eat an entire tray of roasted Brussels sprouts or an entire tray of roasted butternut squash or carrots. Gosh, guys, when it's caramelized, I can't like get it away from me. I'll eat the entire tray. So putting things away right after you cook them is really big. And then consistency takes emotion out of it. So if you are becoming more emotional, like with your eating lately, especially now, get back to consistent ways. The consistent breakfast every morning. If you're a Shakeology morning drinker, get with your Shakeology every morning. Make a morning routine. Hey, I wake up, I drink my Energize, I work out, I drink my Shakeology, then I have a cup of coffee, right? So if you can have this consistent thing that you do every day, it's going to help. Banana pancakes. Melanie started eating those. Aren't they amazing? You can have banana pancakes for breakfast, right? Have that. And then at lunchtime, have your Shakeology, okay? And I'm going to bring Shakeology up in all three different ways here. Some people love their consistent breakfast, consistent morning, and then after dinner, instead of having a dessert or grabbing food, they use their Shakeology for their after dinner treat. They make it extra thick. They eat it like ice cream. It works really well for them. So keep this in mind. There's ways to use Shakeology for anything. Amanda says she uses Shakeology as a treat. I know other people, the two ladies, I absolutely love them most. I don't think they're on here, but they're on my challenge groups all the time. Ashley Woodsick and her mom, Lisa. They're like rocking it out. Ashley's down like 70 pounds over the last year, very consistent. But when they drink their Shakeology at night, like they eat it like ice cream, and it keeps them away from any other late night snacking. So these are all like ways that you can just get into a routine, and a consistency is going to help break you out of emotional eating habits because you don't have to think about it. And when you don't have to think about it and you're full and satisfied and you're giving your body what it needs, then you won't have as many crazy, like just grab the bag of chips and eat the whole damn thing days, right? So keep these things in mind. Get back to me and let me know how it's working for you. Tell me about your tracking. Tell me about these routines that you might have set in place for yourself. I would love to hear them. And I hope to see you guys Monday night because I'll be doing that call about coaching. And the last time I did it, by the way, Thursday, it was way too long. So I'm going to work really, really hard on cutting it down and making it shorter. My goal is to be no longer than 30 minutes. But anyway, get your people on the call. The lighting, I'm sorry, just keeps changing. It's distracting me. Get your people on the call Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And Patty said she thought it was fantastic. Thanks, Patty. That's really sweet. All right. If you have any other questions, let me know. Can't wait to talk to you Monday. Bye.